Hey everyone, this is Matt, the Resale Champ, and I'm back again this week with another video. This video is nothing like what I've done before. It's one I've been kind of talking about the last couple of weeks. It is about how my account being up for suspension, my Amazon seller account. And this is a huge deal for anybody who sells on Amazon, because at a moment's notice, your account could be suspended. And so what happened to me on March 18th, I received the dreaded red flag performance notification email saying, urgent, your account is under review. I think it actually says your Amazon seller account is under review. I'd have to look at it and see. I think I actually have. I do. Under my performance notifications, let me pull it up on the screen here and you'll see it actually says urgent Amazon selling account under review. And so we're going to talk about, you'll actually see several of those on there. I'll talk to you about that. I'm going to try to sum this up. I'm going to keep it hopefully around 30 minutes and kind of sum up the steps, what happened and the steps that I've taken and where I'm currently at. Hopefully this will help some of you who are currently selling on Amazon and worried about your account, or people that are thinking about selling on Amazon. And this, is a real thing. So just as a little background for myself, I'm not a new seller. I've been on Amazon since 2013. A little bit, maybe 2014. So well over 5 years I've been on Amazon. And this is, just now happening to me. So it can happen to even seasoned sellers, and it can happen, brand new sellers. You're going to have less of a leash, I believe, than somebody who's been selling for as long as I have. What I'll do is I'll kind of break down the steps in the process as best I can, and hopefully give you some tips and guidance along the way. So currently, my account is still under review. So yes, over 2 weeks now. What happened, like I said, back on the 18th, I got that email, that notification, urgent Amazon selling account under review. And I'll pull it up back on the screen here. What it actually says, it says your Amazon selling account is currently under review, and we will be contacting you by phone with more information within 24 hours. So it tells you basically, we're going to call you. What happens next? So in the next 24 hours, so it says, make sure you go in to your notification emergency contacts and make sure you have a good contact phone number so that we can get a hold of you and contact you. And then it goes on to say, we're here to help. Click on this link. You can contact us if you want to do that. So this email came through. This email came through on the 18th, and it was like, I think that was a Thursday, near the end of the day. It's like 4 o'clock Central Time, 4 p.m. So I had a feeling I'm not going to get a call today. So as you can imagine, I did not sleep very well Thursday night. And so sure enough, Friday came. I did get a phone call. I was looking for it from Seattle. I think it was Seattle, but maybe not. May have just been an 800 number, but I answered it because I was expecting a call. And sure enough, it was Amazon calling. What it is, it's their account health team. So this is something that is new within the last couple of years. They didn't even used to have an account health team. It used to be you just got axed for the most part, or you got a warning shot saying you're about to be axed, fix this. And now they've gotten to, I think it's an improvement. Actually, there were some lawsuits done, I think, in Great Britain over where they were just shutting down accounts and weren't giving reasons or anything. So I think that improved the process. But right now, what happened is I got the email, the notification, said they were going to call me, and they did. They called me within the 24 hours. It was next morning they called, and it's a member of the account health team. So let me explain this. So the account health team is not the team that actually suspends you. All right, that's another team altogether. And off the top of my head, I can't think of the name of what they were calling it. It was on seller support, I can't, it was seller something, I think. You don't talk to them. So the great Oz behind the curtain, you never get to see, you never get to contact, you never get to speak to them. They just make these, final judgments. And as many of you who sell on Amazon or have been suspended or have dealt with them know, they're impossible to deal with. So account health is there to basically give you a warm fuzzy and hopefully give you some direction. And they're very nice. I actually ended up talking to them at least 4 or 5 times, and I'll explain kind of how that went. But what they did is when they called me, they basically said, your account health section is, in a mess, I guess, for lack of a better word. It's in bad shape. You need to fix it. Your whole account, okay, your whole account health. So I was hoping that they were going to call me and say, look, this one specific listing or ASIN or this one complaint you need to address. And that was not it at all. Now, I'm not saying they don't do that. They might do that for some people, but in my case, this was, and according to one of the account health reps I spoke to, this was something new that they started doing in May, which, why Amazon decided to start a new process in the middle of a pandemic when, they're short staffed and, people are getting, losing jobs and stuff. I don't know, but that's what they did. So they're basically saying, look, it's your entire account health needs to be fixed. So when I say account health, there's actually a section under Amazon called account health. So if you go to, and I'll put this up on the screen here, but this is it right here. So to get to this under performance, right here at the top of your account, you can go to account health. It's the first item. You select that. And right here in the middle is where, I'm focused. Now they also have under here your merchant fulfilled shipping information, which they can also suspend you for that. And so, if you're going to merchant fulfill, make sure you know what you're doing because they track shipments, cancellations, returns, and if you get your metrics are off at all, they will can you quickly. Customer service over here, but this section right here in the middle, let me make this bigger, the product policy compliance. So right now, this is what my account currently looks like. And you'll see I've got 6 suspected intellectual property violations, 2 received, 0 for the product authenticity, product condition, product safety, and listing policy violations. But I did have 1, I want to say 1 or 2. And then I've got 9 restricted product policy violations. These are what they said I needed to address all of them. So they did give me some, they didn't just say fix it. All right, so they did give me some specifics, and the specifics were that I had to write POAs or a plan of action for the property complaints and the listing policy violations. So the first rep that I talked to said I needed to fix those. So I had to write a plan of action on the received intellectual property complaints and the listing policy violations that I had. Now, one nice thing that they do is they do tell you that when you write the plan of action, they give you kind of a guideline on what it should look like. Now, I'll tell you this before I get too far into account health team. There are some experts out there that basically who have dealt with account health in the past, and I'm no expert, by the way, as far as account health, that have said that they're basically a waste of time, that they don't really help you that much with what Amazon actually wants, with what the seller team that does the suspensions actually wants. Now that's a little scary because they're the ones that they're the only ones you're sitting there talking to. So if you wanted to get some guidance, take that for what it's worth. As I'm telling you what my experience has been, and so far I'm not suspended, but I'm still under review for 2.5 weeks now. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what they basically said is that you have to address, first of all, what they call the root cause. They want a lot of detail on the root cause of what caused the issue, whether it's the intellectual property, the product policy violation. They want a lot of, how you're going to address it, how you're going to fix it right now, and how you're going, what preventative steps is the third. There's really three areas, and I want to say it's preventative steps. Is that what it was? No, yeah, root cause. No, root cause. What you're doing to address the issue, and then preventative steps for future on, so this doesn't happen again. So that's what they're looking for in this plan of action. Let me tell you this, they do want a detailed, a nice, good plan of action. So my suggestion to you is, if you ever get to the point where you have to do a plan of action, don't just write a little paragraph on, I didn't know that this was even a policy, my bad, I won't do it again, fingers crossed. Okay, don't do something like that. First of all, Amazon wants, the best tip here I can give you is, Amazon wants you to take ownership. They want you to admit fault, whether it's your fault or not. Okay, they see it as your fault. So you have to admit fault without giving any excuses. You cannot say that, I didn't know is not an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. That, somebody else did this, or this wasn't a problem at the beginning when I first sent it in. They don't care about that. They just want you to say, look, this is my fault. What was the root cause? The root cause. Okay, explain that. So one tip I can give you is that you have to admit fault, and you have to give a detailed, steps on what you're going to do to fix it. One nice thing that they do offer, so when I was talking to Account Health, they were talking about the plan of action. They do give you that information. So they do tell you kind of how to put this together. And then they also offer for you to, they'll review it. They'll say, look, before you submit it, and the other thing they'll tell you is they'll tell you where to submit it. Because I've got all these different areas. So in my Account Health, I had like 4 areas that needed to be addressed, right? So they'll tell you, okay, this is where you do the plan of action, how you address these particular issues. And they tell you that they will review the plan of action, which I thought was kind of cool. Now, whether that's good or not, whether they actually help you with that, but here's how it went. So for me, when I did the plan of action, they give you a link in that email that they send you, that you click on that link, it will call them. They don't give you the phone number, so you can't just call them out of the blue. You have to put in there why you're calling, and they click that link, and it dials them, and then it dials you. And then that's how you talk to Account Health. And they did. They said that you can upload, creates a case basically, and then you go to that case and you upload the plan of action to them. So my suggestion is, when you do the plan of action, do a separate, like, Word document on a separate sheet. Don't do it. They gave you a little place, like in some of the spots where for the plan of action in the Amazon, where you can address it. They give you like a box, but they also give you a place to upload a file, or that's what you want to do. You want to upload, you want to have that plan of action. First of all, you want to keep a copy of it for sure. And you want to separate it, you want to keep that separate, and then you can upload it. So that's how you want to do the plan of action. And I did that. So I took advantage of it. I didn't, I figured, why not? And they did. I mean, I did a total of 4 plan of actions. And for 3 of them, I actually had called back in and got it, had them review it. They'll review it right there with you on the phone. They will sit there and look at it, and then they'll say, give me 5 minutes. And then they'll come back on the phone with you and say, okay, we want, one of the things they told me was, hey, we need more detail under the root cause. Okay, so that's right out of what they told me. they want more detail when you're talking about the preventative steps and that type of thing. So I found it personally, it seemed to be very helpful. Talking to them seemed to be very helpful. Now, if my account ends up suspended, then I'm going to say it wasn't helpful because they're just basically blowing a lot of smoke. So I did everything. I basically took all the steps that the account health team told me to do. They said, write plan of action for the 2 property complaints for one of the listing policy violations. Now, on 2 different occasions, 2 of the agents said I don't have to do plan of actions for the suspected intellectual property violations or for the restricted product policy violations. Well, on the other 2 occasions, 2 reps said, yes, you do have to do the for definite for the restricted product policy violations. So I did that. I ended up, after I talked to the last rep, I ended up doing a 4th POA that addressed all 8 or 9 of the policy violations, all within that POA. And each one kind of talked about what each violation was. Some of them were duplicated, and I kind of spelled that out. So I didn't want to write 9 different POAs for each of those. So I did one long one that kind of addressed each issue. He told me, the account health rep told me that was okay. He said I could do that. I took his advice, and that's how I did that. I went ahead and submitted that. Now, I did all of this on the 19th of May. All right, it is now June 7th. And as you can see, I'll put this back up here. At the top of this screen, you can see a big warning box. Your account is at risk of deactivation due to policy violations. Address these in a timely manner will prevent unnecessary disruption to your selling account. So let me kind of go through the timeline with you. On the 18th, I get the email, the notification. On the 19th, they call. I did receive the call. They called me, indicated my entire account health needed to be addressed. I told you that. I needed the POAs for the IP complaints. I needed POA for the listing policy violation. Here's the other thing they told me to do. So under the suspected and the restricted product policy violation and the suspected intellectual property violations. Now, they said, first of all, the first thing you have to absolutely do is you have to close all those listings. So even though it's going to already be closed or it's going to be inactive, it'll say inactive or it'll say inactive closed or something like that. They want you to go in and delete all the listings I had 14 suspected. So some stuff has happened on my account. As you can see, I had 14 suspected IP violations at the beginning of this process. I'm down to 6. So 8 of those have dropped off. Now, the restricted product policy violations, I actually had 8 at the time. I'm now up to 9. I got 1 more. That's not good. But they want you to go in, and as soon as you get those, they want you to delete them. So on the 19th, I sent the 3 POAs, and I deleted all the listings requested. And then I confirmed all 3. So I'm going off of my notes here because I started writing this stuff down so I could keep track because it's taking so long. I confirmed all of the POAs with account health. So I said, look, this is what you've received these. This is what I needed to do. Basically, I said, look, is there anything else you guys want? All right. I did not have a warning banner on my account at that time. All I had was the initial email and the notice, right? This email, and then I had the performance notification here that showed up here, right? Okay, that was the warning about my urgent Amazon. That's where I didn't have anything said on my account that was a banner, and I have that now. So that showed up on the 20th. So when I logged in on the 20th, so the 19th, I submitted the POAs. On the 20th, I log into my account, and I had this warning banner on the desktop and on my mobile app. So that kind of freaked me out because I'm like, uh-oh, because that wasn't there. Now they're really warning me. Again, I contacted Account Health. They're like, no, that's part of the process, because in case you had not seen the email, in case you had not spoken to us, they were going to put a banner on your account to make sure that you knew. So that's, in a way, it's a good thing, because they're making sure that your account is under review. So it did freak me out at first, but according to Account Health, they said, that wasn't a big deal. So what I did is I started going back and closing all my old listings. I've never done that. So that were out of stock, and I don't know I can't read my own writing. Out of stock and something, and started deleting inactive listings. So, and then I contacted Account Health about the banner. Yeah, so we already talked about that. And then, like I said, on one of the last times I contacted Account Health, they said, no, you need to go in, and for your restricted product policy violations, you really need to do a POA. So I did a fourth POA on all of those. But I did, what I started to do is I started going back, because a lot of these, what'll happen is it'll be a listing that I sold years ago. Like I said, I've been on here since 2013. So I've got, basically, I never closed or deleted any of my listings. So they're all still there. So I have, if I were to pull up my listings, I have over 7,000, I would think it's 7,500 listings in my Amazon account. Now, they're not all active. Most of those are inactive. I think I only have a couple hundred active, but over 7,500 inactive, or 7,500 total listings. And it's all stuff that I've sold in the last 5+ years. And so what'll happen is one of those listings will be a flag all of a sudden that it wasn't before, and Amazon now flags it. And if you've got it sitting in your account, even if it's inactive, like out of stock, which is most of mine say inactive out of stock, even if it's inactive out of stock, they will flag your account for it if it's a problem with that listing. And a lot of this stuff, that's what that is. So just so I'll tell you, look, these aren't like major things. Like, I'm not a bad seller. Okay. I'm not going out and sourcing, sketchy products or products that I know are high risk products. This is primarily, my account is primarily RAOA. I'd say like 90% and like 10% wholesale, this one account. So it's very, there's no private label. It's primarily OA and RA, and then wholesale. So when people say, well, OA or RA is dead, I'm going to say, look, it's not necessarily dead at all, but it's very risky. When you send that product into Amazon, they could at any point, flag that listing, flag your account, say you can't sell that, even though it's available for you to send in. It's the craziest thing. It makes no logical sense whatsoever. But that's how they operate. They don't care. They don't care about you as a seller. And whoever runs, the seller team, I don't know what's going on, but they have no clue. They are completely clueless when it comes to sellers. They have no idea what's going on. And I think what's happened, the company's gotten so big, the organization so large that, they've just hired these people, and the people are completely out of touch. So you'll see accounts that, are 50% feedback, hijacking listings, and they're fine. They're doing, they're operating at full capacity. And then you got sellers like myself, been on there 5 or 6 years, doing everything the right way, the way that Amazon laid it out for you to do it. And they will put your account under review and potentially suspend you. But these are products that, were okay to send in. And then at some point, Amazon decided they weren't. And then they flagged it. And I may not even be selling it. A lot of these I hadn't sold in like 2 or 3 years. So here's another tip. Okay, if you've been selling a while, go back, and I've never done this, I should have done it. Just go back and start deleting, absolutely closing, absolutely close. But as an even finer, better step, go ahead and delete any listings that you're not actively selling. So if you're not doing replens on that, then even if you think you might sell it in a couple months, go ahead and delete it and then just relist it. I know it seems crazy, but that's what I started to do. So I went in, I deleted, I stopped. I haven't done what I should have. I probably should have deleted, 5,000 or more listings. I haven't done that, but I started with my oldest, and I just started going through any of the ones that were just inactive, like they didn't say inactive out of stock. They were just inactive, closed. That means Amazon went in there and closed it. I definitely deleted those. And then I just started going as my oldest and started going through 50, 100 at a time and closing and deleting inactive out of stock listings. And I highly recommend that you do that as well. I think that'll go a long way. Well, so back to my timeline. Again, I didn't hear anything. I was hoping, because it says you have to respond within 24 to 48 hours, I think. I'm thinking the same thing in my head. Oh, once I respond, they'll respond back to me in 24 to 48 hours. It doesn't work that way. They did not do that. I was hoping by Monday I would have heard something. So I literally stopped ordering for an entire week. So this really killed my account. No, I didn't. Yeah, I stopped ordering and I stopped sending in because I was paranoid. Because if Amazon suspends you, they will hold your money. Because I actually had money coming out that was due. My money comes out on Thursday evening. I was worried my money wasn't going to come out, and I was worried they were going to hold up my stuff, so I couldn't send anything in, and they will hold your inventory. So I didn't want to send inventory in that if they deactivated my account, they would hold that inventory, and there's no telling. I mean, I've seen sellers where their inventory's been held for years, and their money's been held for years. It's crazy. So it's it's very terrifying. And it's real that, Amazon, and we're talking tens of thousands of dollars. We're not talking a couple $100. Okay. So we're talking tens of thousands of dollars, and we're talking, hundreds of SKUs with, 10 or more, we're talking 1,000 plus items that's sitting there at Amazon. It's very, very terrifying, literally. But I did want to, what happened is that I didn't hear anything, and then little things started happening. So I can kind of pull up my timeline here. On 18th, all right. On the 18th, I got the review, the urgent, your account's under review. On the 19th, I got your Amazon seller account notice. Thank you for speaking with us. And that's when they're official. Once you speak to them, you have the 72 hours, it looks like, to prevent your selling account on Amazon. Let me make this bigger. To prevent your Amazon selling account from being deactivated within the next 72 hours, please visit the account health page to appeal. So this notification, that's their way of saying, we've talked to you. Now you have 72 hours to go fix what we told you to go fix. So I did that. And then I didn't hear anything back till the 24th. Okay, 5 days later, you can see right here on the 24th, 5 days later, I got one of my listings, or one of my POAs got addressed and it was reinstated. So they addressed one of my ASINs out of the 4 POAs that I did. And then again on the 24th, they updated, that's the same ASIN. I think they updated my account. No, hold on, I'm looking at, no, that's a different thing. Okay, so there's the one ASIN. No, okay. So here's where they said they reinstated that one ASIN, and then here's another one. So that's the second. So two of my ASIN, two of the POAs got addressed, but not the third or the fourth. And then here you'll see on the 26th, so right at a week later, I got another urgent, your Amazon selling account is currently under review. We will contact you within the next 24 hours. Now on that one, they did not contact me. So I contacted them off of that link. And I said, hey, what's going on? And they said, no, it's automatically generated because your account's still under review, so don't have to do anything. And I confirmed that with them. Everything's cool. And then again, the same thing again on the 3rd. So was that like another week later, another one. All right. And then on the 7th, that's today. What did I get today? Well, I got a we cannot accept your appeal. So one of my appeals, this was for the intellectual property complaints. All right, so my appeal basically was a trademark infringement, I guess. And so I put in, the ones, basically what they told me about the root cause, how, what I'm going to do to address it, and how to prevent it. All right, so I get this back today saying we cannot accept your appeal. It has not been modified. They want me to, according to this, I was supposed to go in and change the content on my product detail page to not include infringing content. So I needed to go change the content of the detail page to exclude any trademark infringing content. All right, that's not what Account Health told me to do. And my listings are deleted. So I can't, and they deleted the listing. So this ASIN right here, it doesn't exist on Amazon. So there's no way for me to do anything. So what do you do? This is where I'm at right now. So I'm hopefully some of this will help you. If you've gotten your account under review, I hope you've had a good experience with it. I can't say mine's been good. I can't say it's been bad. I mean, it hasn't been taken care of. I mean, we're over 2 weeks in, and I still have this over my head. Here's what I did do. I stopped. We're right at the 30-minute mark here, just going over. So I'm going to wrap this up. Here's what I did. I did the POAs. Basically, a couple of them got addressed. The other couple haven't been addressed, I guess. I'm still getting account under review stuff. As of today, I got that they rejected an appeal. I guess I'm going to call Account Health again and ask them about that specifically, what I'm supposed to do about that. My account's still open, but what I did do, like I said, I started deactivating my listings or closing my listings, old listings, and deleting them. So I highly recommend you do that. I also, this is what I did. In hindsight, I wish I wouldn't have done it. I stopped ordering and I stopped shipping for an entire week. I didn't order or ship anything into Amazon, and it really is killing me now. So for the week that I was under review, my sales were awesome. And then the last couple of weeks now, my sales have dropped way off because I stopped shipping. So I only waited a week. When I hadn't heard anything, I just started back. So I went full blast back on ordering and shipping again. So I'm doing that again. I'm sending stuff in because I don't know. I can't just sit here for a month and not do anything. Well, meantime, I could have been selling. My hope is that they'll just do like this notification today where they'll just reject an appeal and they won't just close my account. The last Account Health rep I did talk to said, technically, they won't just, this is what he said. Now, I don't know if it's true, but he said they won't just shut your account off where you can't you go in the morning, you can't log in, you can't access it, you're just shut out. He said what they will do, they can deactivate it, but they'll normally send you something saying this is what needs to be addressed. We did not like this in your appeal. We need to fix this to get your account reinstated. So I'm hoping that even if they do shut me down or deactivate my account, that it won't be a huge process to get it fixed. And at this point, if that happens, I'm going to hire somebody. So if I get suspended or my account gets deactivated, I'm going to hire somebody because I can't let this thing sit for weeks or months And at this point, I will have dealt with account health myself. And if it wasn't effective, then I'm definitely hiring somebody. I'll pay whatever it costs. And I'll let you know if that happens. I'll come back. I'll do another video with talking about it being suspended and what I did and, who I hired and whether I've been accepted back or not. So anyway, I wanted to at least address it. I'm still currently under review. It's been since the 18th of May. So was that 3 weeks now? Almost about 3 weeks. Yeah, we're right at 3 weeks that my account's been under review. Some of my appeals were accepted. Apparently one wasn't. I haven't heard back completely on everything that I sent in. I'm going to call account health tomorrow. And anyway, that's it. All right. As far as I don't want to just keep dragging it out. Hopefully you got some good tips about closing and deleting old listings, how to do some POAs. And hopefully this was helpful to you if you're worried about this situation. Hopefully this helped you kind of know what the process was, at least for this was for me. I don't know if it's like that for other people. If you've had a different experience or similar, feel free to contact below. Put a note, put a comment below. Let me know what your experience was and how you dealt with it. If you hired somebody, who did you hire? Did they do a good job? Let me know, because I might need that I might need that recommendation from you here in the near future. Stay tuned. Next week, I'll be back with another video. I've got a couple of good ideas of what I want to do. Hopefully it won't be my account was suspended video. Hopefully it'll just be more useful information for either for you selling on eBay or Amazon. If you have not already, please like this video and subscribe, and you'll get more videos like this one coming your way every week on Monday. These get released, so look for these on Monday. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.